Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm recording a podcast episode. Now I'm not exactly sure how I'm planning this video. What I'm thinking of is to make this an impromptu speech uh, about not really a speech, more like a podcast episode. But I want to maintain the authenticity. At least that is what I'm thinking of doing. But I'm unsure at the moment, like how this will finally turn out. So please bear with me. Now, there is a thing on YouTube that if like mostly what mostly what YouTubers do is they try to capture the attention span, like not the attention span, but the attention of people. And it's understandable. I mean, I have been also doing that for all of my previous videos, so to speak. But the thing is, there is something lost in that process. The authenticity of the video. First of all, if you're listening to now, I'm not sure exactly what the title of the video is going to be, but I'm thinking that I should label the title as a podcast. The word podcast should be there, I'm thinking, because how YouTube works is people open the YouTube app on their phone and they are presented with one video, one after the other, one video after the other. And it's all like from the YouTube studio point of view. Like, think about it from the creators of YouTube. I'm not talking about YouTube video creators. I'm talking about the people who are running the company YouTube, who are designing the app, the interface. It's all based on the scrolling mechanism. Most people now, honestly, most people watch videos on YouTube on their phone. Maximum, I'm not sure the exact number, but it's so obvious that most people watch videos on their phone. Next medium after phone, I would think, is the television. A lot of people these days are purchasing smart televisions and they're watching videos on their TV, where the YouTube app is there on their Android TV and whatever Apple TV. I'm not sure if on other platforms it's there, but on TV, the YouTube, at least for Android TVs, the app is there. And many people are buying Android TVs these days because Android TVs are very cheap nowadays. So the thing is, now I was a little confused and I still am not sure, but I will only gain certainty by doing it. By which I mean that I don't think that thinking always helps. You have to do it. In order to understand something, you have to probably do it, which is not. It's like life is a, you can say, what is it called? A trial and error process. Everything in life, mostly. Maybe not everything, but certainly a lot of things. And if you want to achieve greatness in life, you have to do a lot of trial and error. It's a learning curve. I honestly think that it is pretty inefficient. Now, I don't know why it is like that. Like a lot of philosophers might say that there might be reasons why life is completely like trial and error based. Most of life, especially if you want to achieve greatness, life is a lot of it is trial and error. If you want to uh, just live a life, then you can just follow what other people did, and mostly you'll get by, I guess. But if you want to achieve greatness, or if you want to achieve some heights, not heights, but if you want to uh, become someone, or for a lack of better words, I'm not getting the exact way to describe it, but if you want to become achieve something in life, and achieve is I feel not the most appropriate word from what I'm trying to explain here. But the thing is, I'm probably gonna label this title as podcast than what I talked about. Mm, Earlier, I was thinking, because I'm going to talk a lot of things like mm, what I'm thinking is like I want to maintain the authenticity. If I make cuts in the video in the while what I do is I clean the audio using um, uh, software on the internet. Uh, there's this I generally use this one, the Adobe Podcast. There's a website where you can go podcast.adobe.com and you can clean your voice because I don't have a podcast mic and I can purchase a podcast mic, but the thing is, the app is really good. The software is so good that you can kind of it cleans the audio so good that it just feels like I recorded it on a podcast mic. I'm just using a basic, your this kind of mic. I don't know if you can see it, but basic your the small mic, wired mic, which you can buy for I don't know $2 or something on the internet. Uh, uh, Now the thing is, sorry, not $2. I mean $10. I meant $10 or $20, I guess. Uh, so I'm trying to do a raw uh, podcast, but generally what happens is like I was thinking. So I'm going to talk a lot of stuff. Earlier, I was thinking to title the video as uh, this thing: Why World War III is inevitable. Why World War III is inevitable? The question mark or something like that. I was planning to write that because what happens is what how YouTube works is, and people have like when people open the YouTube app on their phone, they have certain expectations, right? So if this video comes up, which is I feel like this is going to be long video, but I'm not sure because this is raw speech. Like I want to maintain the authenticity. If I plan, so how do generally YouTube videos work? They what they do is they write the script and they honestly they just read off of the script, which is okay. But the thing is, it somehow there is a lost authenticity in all of that. Now, even lost authenticity might not be the right word, but I feel like if I do that, see, honestly, I can do that. It's really simple. All you have to do is you have to write the script and you have to read from the script while facing the camera, which how news reporters what they do is they read the news, right? When a reporter when you see news on the television or wherever or even on YouTube, you see the reporter, the camera engages, there is a dramatic music, initial intro music that plays in the background, and or it doesn't, like let's say some random news, right? The reporter is what I'm saying is the reporter is reading the news off the teleprompter, right? uh YouTubers also do that. They have something, maybe not a teleprompter, I don't know exactly, but they read it off their own written script. like like any good YouTuber who are like good in the sense who are popular, what they do is they write the script, their own script, and the quality of the video is determined by how powerful the writing is. So they write and they read off while there is animations and AI generated visuals in front of you. Like there will be cuts. You see the YouTuber speaking for 5 seconds, and there will be suddenly a cut where the audio is continuous. The YouTuber is speaking continuously, but there will be cuts where there will be visualizations and like that. So what it does is it engages the audience because it basically hijacks. It's a brain mechanism. Like it's a different kind of video. Like filmmakers also do that. There is a difference between a video and a film. What filmmakers, for example, someone on the you think of a regular movie, what they do is there are cuts, like after, because they know that the audience will lose interest if there's no cuts. The audience will not be hooked, to the video or to the film, whatever, so they won't want to watch it. It won't be engaging. To make something a video audio audio visual format, if you have to make it engaging, the audio is continuous. There are no breaks in the audio stream, but the visual keeps changing. So that is how people keep their audience hooked on the YouTube place. Now the thing is, like, it's good for, like, it's good for getting views, because then you'll be like, yeah, like it's better for views, like because you're keeping the audience engaged. But what about the raw, authentic communication? Think about YouTube. When YouTube first began, YouTube began as a slogan, broadcast yourself. If you remember, I'm not sure if you do remember, or if you remember or you don't. But in the era of broadcast yourself, people used to just record video. There was not a lot of focus given to editing. Um, Even if editing was there, there is minimal editing. But my point is, a person talking to the camera, essentially a person trying to communicate something that they have to say through the camera, like if I edit it, it will lose that raw authenticity, is all I'm saying. Now, if I prepare things in my mind, that is also not really raw, right? Like think of it like think of TED Talks, right? TED Talks is prepared speech. But prepared, whenever you're prepared, that is also, I'm not saying that's bad. I love TED Talk. I really do. But like think about a comedian. When a comedian is doing stand-up comedy, they have to come prepared. But that's different. That's a live audience, right? Um Now that I think of it, maybe there is similarities, but still, like the raw authenticity is lost, is all I'm saying. I mean, in a podcast, even in podcast is not really like raw, uncut. The thing that I'm trying to say is uncut. When you cut videos, let's say there is some silence coming out where I'm thinking like, what am I gonna say? Or maybe I'm confused for a second, right? That what I want to say. So there will be a moment of silence that comes up. But in that silence, I can cut that portion where I didn't speak. But it's also nice, right, to keep that portion like uncut so that there is this continuous. So it feels like I'm actually a person in front of you speaking to you, right? So there is some kind of a value. All I'm trying to say is that there is some value to that. Like in today's era, uh, okay, so like I said, right, the cut version and the short, crispy version that you generally find on YouTube, everybody does that. That exists. But then what happens to the raw version? The raw version is completely lost. What about its authenticity? It's lost, right? Like, so there's no point of making the raw videos anymore. But what I'm saying is, if I continuously, repeatedly do that kind of edited, let's say I think like, yeah, this is not gonna get any views or watch time, and I think of making the videos that is uncut, sorry, cut and edited, properly edited, with the focus. Whenever a person is editing a video on YouTube, their main objective is to make a video where the video is like all they're thinking is, okay, in this portion, am I going to lose the attention span of the audience? Am I going to lose my audience here in this post, right, in this point? And I think what it does is whenever a person edits something like that, the the raw authenticity is lost, as well as it trains the person to make more of such kind of videos. So that's why we live in a culture where YouTube is this big giant television like platform, where the only difference between regular old school television and YouTube is that in old school television nobody can just come up with any channel. It's not so easy to create a television channel and upload content or run a television channel. You have to get government clearances, you have to have some kind of certifications, you have to be, there are legal procedures. But on YouTube, it's very easy. Anybody can create a channel and upload their content. And based on whether people want to watch it, they will watch it. But the thing is, like, eh, if I don't, if I don't maintain the authenticity, and if I train myself to make videos of the kind of videos that you regularly watch on YouTube, then you will get that kind of videos. Then there's no uniqueness. No one will. What about what happened to, you know, thinking out of the box, or not just thinking out of the box for the sake of thinking out of the box? I believe that a lot of people will sacrifice this kind of raw, authentic mentality because they know that at the end of the day, no one will watch their videos. So they might, after making 100 videos or 200 videos, they might come to the conclusion, you know what, this is not working out. Let me they would search on YouTube how to edit your videos, how to make your videos hook worthy, or how to make your videos addictive. And these videos will come up on the search result with the titles like, make a video where the audience is addicted, make your audience addicted to your videos. So, like, think about it. If I'm making videos where my only point is like, I'm thinking, well, when I'm even recording the video, I'm thinking, oh, I have to say this to hook the audience. How do I keep them engaged? Then what will happen is there are many tricks and deceptions that you can do to keep the audience engaged. But that doesn't mean that that content is going to be first of all healthy for consumption, and second of all, it will be like, it would not be anything worth it, I guess. Like, it's a uh, it's a tough thing for my intelligence to accept that, oh, I'm making a content like that where I'm like uh sacrificing authenticity to get, engaging you, the viewer, because I don't care about you. All I want to do is I want to keep you hooked because this is what I do for money. It's business, it's just business, man. How this is a part of our culture in today's modern world, that it's just how business is done. That's how business works. If you want to make money, this is how you have to do it. But then what will happen is that authenticity, real, something that's real, genuine, authentic, that will be completely lost. And there will be like no reason then to make that authentic. And frankly speaking, I think everyone is tired in on YouTube. People, do you know why people even watch YouTube videos? Because most of the people, and I challenge you to question yourself if and verify for yourself if this is true or not. Because I suddenly myself watch YouTube videos because I don't have anything better to do. Just, I don't know, maybe you might agree or not agree with me, but I think that there is not a better alternative of YouTube. That's why I watch YouTube videos, not because I want to. Like, when I'm opening YouTube, I'm like, oh my God, let me see who uploaded the latest videos. It's like a time killer, an addiction, to be honest, like YouTube or any social media. But like, YouTube is a little bit better, maybe because in YouTube, at least people watch a certain type of content to uh, get something out of it, I guess. I mean, if you're scrolling on TikTok, then I'm not saying anything wrong. I also do that. I scroll on Instagram. I watch reels. Sometimes I do, but I can't really say that I get any enjoyment out of it. If I'm watching reels on Instagram, if I'm scrolling through reels on Instagram, which have popularly developed this term doom scrolling, then the real reason why I'm doing it, why I'm doom scrolling, is because I I don't have anything better to do at that point of time. Uh, Generally, when I'm in a better when I have a more healthy mindset, or when I am patient, I'm more calm, I rather choose to watch a movie, a good movie, some classic movie, or some new movie, which is good. Good in the sense, good, and good is subjective. But for me, for example, good is something that is, uh, you know, that is, that my intelligence love. I feel like if you are an intelligent person, or if you consider yourself to be, or if you think of yourself to be an intelligent person, then you will watch some classic movies which are probably Oscar nominated, or which have some message for the society, or where the movie is something that, that filmmaker has created with a lot of passion. You can see it when you're watching the movie. You can see the love and the passion of the creators, that went behind, and the hard work, definitely, but the hard work based on love. There are two kinds of hard work. One hard work is for the sake of like earning money and forced hard work because they want to get something out of it. And another hard work is the work of passion, the hard work that is really kind of automatic and smooth flowing. Like when I was recently watching a video where there was a scene where I saw like there was a painter. A painter is painting on the a canvas. In that video, it was a vlog of a YouTuber, and in that vlog, there was a scene like where the guy was showing this painter who lives in a village, in a rural village, and this person has painted many paintings, and it was a beautiful painting, just like many paintings. I guess like people say like Michelangelo or whatever, people who painted Mona Lisa and things like that. There are some unique paintings. It might be, but the thing is, I generally feel that any painting is good. Like I admire the painting, and I felt at that moment, excuse me, like how much time it took for that person to paint it. Now, unless and until you enjoy doing that, you won't be able to do it because it was such a beautiful painting. But nobody is gonna buy his painting. I mean, he lives in some rural place, and nobody's gonna buy it. He doesn't make any money. Just like most artists. Most artists don't make any money. The artists who make a lot of money. There are some artists. Now, artist, I'm using this as an umbrella term. Under this term comes filmmakers, musicians, painters, anyone who is doing creating any kind of art. Now, the thing is, like most of the artists just don't make any money, realistically speaking. But some of the artists do make any money. Uh, there are some artists who make millions of dollars, a lot of money. Maybe not billions. I don't think any artist makes billions of dollars, but there are a few artists who probably you would say like, yeah, they're a millionaire. They're really rich, really rich. But they're just, I would say, yeah, their art is really good, but their art also got discovered. Like when you think of the filmmakers like Christopher Nolan or Satyajit Ray, right? Their art got discovered. It's really, I honestly think like there are many more Martin Scorsese's and many more Quentin Tarantino's in the world, but it's just that those few got discovered, and because of that, they became millionaires. But there were a lot of people, trust me, that never got discovered because the world is not based on. As I grow older in life, I'm realizing the world is not based on discovery. It's a very random show, really. This world, your life is, everybody's life is on this planet. Some people get discovered, most of the people don't get discovered, even though they have a lot to offer to the world, but they don't get discovered because of luck, I guess. Um, and like because of the motivation factor of people who like quote unquote are worthy of getting discovered, but they get demotivated. I feel like, especially if you observe this in today's time, you will see the top YouTubers, the YouTubers who have the most subscribers. They're not really the most, like they don't have a lot to offer, really. Like you think of a top like Mr. Beast kind of YouTuber, they I feel like there are people who have way more to offer, but then they never got discovered. Um, because like for example, someone who is and this is, I think, is applicable for a lot of intelligent or people who think of themselves as intelligent, let's say, they just feel like it's a insult to their intelligence to make a video like Mr. Beast would do. like, with a lot of flashy editing, and with a lot of, engaging visuals and audio to keep you hooked, right? No, don't get me wrong. Like, Mr. Beast, I don't think any top YouTuber, like, for example, let's take the example of iShowSpeed, right? iShowSpeed became popular because of his crazy style of making videos based on virality. Based on social media virality, that guy got discovered and became popular, and everybody these days get discovered like that. But all I'm saying is, I don't think the most intelligent bunch of people are getting discovered like that. First of all, no intelligent person will be discovered if the process of discovery, if the ecosystem of the discovery is the way of getting discovered. Like, for example, if I want to be famous, do I have to shout like a dog like iShowSpeed does? I mean, I have tried doing that, honestly. I have tried thinking of doing that. But even the mere thought of doing that hurts my intelligence so much. And it's so paradoxical. I don't know if that's the right use of the word, but it's so paradoxical in the sense that if I try to make myself viral, the things that I have to do to become viral will instantly kill all of my intelligence. And that is what has been happening for all my previous videos. Um, I was trying to make, like, initially when I started making videos a year ago, I started making videos based on spirituality because I was going through a spiritual awakening. There was a burst of spiritual, um, forget the word spiritual. I think it has been corrupted, but like my consciousness was going through an outbreak. Outbreak would be a funny word to say here, actually, but my consciousness was expanding. Let's say again, in a rapid way. My consciousness, and I think everybody's consciousness as the age is always expanding. Maybe not all the time, but for most people, let's say it does on a steady basis. Gradually, it expands. Whether you do any kind of consciousness work or not, you have to excuse a second. Based on any kind of consciousness work a person does or not, their consciousness is always expanding. It happens naturally. That's why older people are generally, not all old people, but generally older people are wiser because they have seen so much in life that their consciousness have, even if they have not done anything, any spiritual or consciousness work, even then their consciousness have expanded gradually because of the course of life. They have seen things, they have done things which have all impacted their consciousness. And anything that you do in life, anything that you witness, that you observe, it hits your consciousness. And I think it generally, like on an overall scale, it's all expansion. Even if, so even your trauma, past trauma and everything, they are all associated with the expansion of consciousness. I don't think anything, sometimes things happen which constricts your consciousness. But in the long run, it proves to be like ultimately towards the direction of expansion of consciousness. I guess. So when I initially started making videos on YouTube, I thought like I didn't even think. I naturally started making videos on spirituality and consciousness and trying to understand the deeper things in life, the deeper aspects of life. But then after making a few videos, I just realized that maybe I just had this thought in my head, like, why am I making videos on YouTube? And the reason was to make money. Honestly, I think a lot of we live in a culture where, like celebrities, they act all high and mighty, but you can't deny that they're making a lot of money, right? A lot of celebrities, you will see, like, they will be promoting things like holistic living, veganism, and they will talk a lot of goody things, right? Like a lot of high woke things. But at the end of the day, they're making money, right? Like whenever think of it, like this is how marketing works. Like, especially in countries like India, you will see like there's a thing called emotional marketing where you see an advertisement especially it's applicable for countries like India, because Indian people are very emotional. So what these marketing ads they do is that they'll make a film that will capture the emotion, like that will not capture, like hit an emotional chord with the audience, and they will market themselves as that emotion, and that is how the product is sold. But there is like you now you might say that what's wrong with that, and I also can't help myself but think that yeah, what's wrong with that? So does it make means that making money is wrong, and um selling things, making money, getting rich, marketing, are those wrong things? I cannot really say that they're wrong, but I cannot really also say there's something that I cannot point my fingers to exactly what it is. But there is something wrong with even making money, the process of making money. Just like think I'll give you an example. I don't think like there's any better way to explain this, because it's such a complex idea. I feel that it's just better explained with examples. um let's say like there are YouTubers, right? Let's take the example of YouTubers. There are many YouTubers who will make videos about spirituality, right? Like for example, take the example of Sadhguru. Not just Let's not take any specific example, but let's talk about YouTubers in general. You will see that there are many YouTubers who make videos, but a lot of them, like not a lot, but many of them will make these. Let's take the example of self-help type videos, where they're making videos like how to make money. Like they will make videos like how to become rich, how to make money, or how to stop procrastinating. Self-development kind of videos, self-help type videos, where there'll be the videos will be like how to change your life, or things I wish I knew in my 20s. Uh, yeah, they're making the videos, but for example, something like how to stop procrastinating and things like that. But but they also are making money, right? What I'm trying to say is that whenever you're making money out of something, I think that instantly corrupts that whole thing. That's why I think, like, in sometimes I wonder, or I not wonder, I get this feeling that why am I making YouTube videos? And I already told you, right? Because I want to make money. I want to make this, let's not say money, even though that is what I want to do. I want to make money. Why else would I be recording this video? I'm recording this video with the hopes that this will get, which will, I'm not saying it will happen, but with the hopes that any YouTuber who makes videos, they are hoping to get million views, right? They're not like now, most YouTubers don't get millions of views. But what I'm saying is the intent is to make millions of views, right? And what are views? What is views? Views is money, right? At the end of the day, people are trying to make money, right? Now, why are people trying to make money? Which is such a stupid question. But the answer is because of capitalism. We live in a society where if you don't make money, you're nothing. You're no one. That is the I think the only problem with capitalism. Otherwise, capitalism in general appears to be a very good thing. It's a very beautiful thing, you might say. And I think that, yeah, capitalism, because of capitalism, all the innovation, human innovation that you see in the world is all because of capitalism, definitely. But the problem with capitalism is that the incentive is to earn money. The incentive is not really to make quality products. For example, um, you might let's accept that every YouTube video is, in a way of thinking, in a capitalistic way of thinking, YouTube videos are products, right? If you're watching a YouTube video, that's a product. That's like you're creating a product. It sounds very mind numbing, at least for me when I say this. But in the world of capitalism, it's so normalized to think of movies as products, YouTube videos as products. Oh, your music on Spotify, that's a product. That's a product of the artist. The artist created the product and it's selling on Spotify. So it's crazy to think of it because it just kills the spirit of art, right? If an artist, what happens is, and I think artists suffer the most in the world of capitalism, because in capitalism, everything is treated as a product that you have to sell in order to make money. It's a market, it's an open market where you can have a digital product or a physical product. And the nature of the product is not really important. The point is, if you have something to sell, you can sell it. It's an open market. But with that selling mindset, what I'm saying is, what happens is a corruption happens behind the curtains. Um, your spirit gets killed. Like people, when a sports person is playing the sport, let's say, because the person is promised money, he will play differently. I don't know if I'm able to make myself understand here. If I think of YouTube, okay, so this is what let me give you my example. I don't know if you have been watching my videos, like if this is the first video that you're watching on my channel, but if you go back on my channel, you will see variety of videos, different kinds of videos. And the reason for that is I kind of got off track. My YouTube thing was I was thinking of making videos initially that were meaningful. But then came the idea like, wait a minute, am I making YouTube videos so that they're meaningful or am I trying to make money? Then I thought, hey, I like playing video games. So let me just answer me this question. Why would a person coming on YouTube, why would they want to make anything other than playing video games, like video game type videos? Why do I have to create videos? Why does videos have to be linked with passion? Because if at the end of the day people are making money on YouTube, then people will move towards that kind of content that's going to bring more views, right? It just makes so much sense if a person is uh, putting their effort on YouTube. Because see, I don't know if you as a viewer realize this or not, but video making takes a lot of effort. It's not a joke. Even the simplest of videos takes a lot of effort and energy to make. And if the spirit of YouTube is, see, that is why even think of in the movie industry, think of like if let's say you want to become a film director or a creator, a movie person who want to create movies. Now, won't you be lured to make a movie that is a Marvel movie instead of, let's say, your heart is in making a classic Western, Quentin Tarantino type film, a Martin Scorsese or any this person, I forgot the name, but you get the point. I hope that a classic film that is classic and slow, 3.5 hours long. But then this thought comes to my head, like, wait a minute, referring to that meme. But that thought comes to your head that why do I have to make first of all, if you want to make a Christopher Nolan style movie, that will take a lot of effort. The editing and the overall production, and first of all, those movies are even more expensive. I think, I don't know if for the expenses, maybe Marvel movies are more expensive. I don't know, but certainly a Marvel movie versus a Christopher Nolan movie, there's a lot of effort. Like I hope you understand that if you're able to comprehend that. But to make a Christopher Nolan type movie will take 100 times more effort than to make a Marvel movie. A Marvel movie can be these days, it can be created with AI, really. Like, maybe not today, but in the next 5 years, it can be completely created with an AI system. An AI ecosystem can create an entire Marvel movie. No human input needed. Because there's no creativity in a Marvel film. There's nothing artistic about it. There's no creativity. It's just uh, for material consumption of a group of um, dare I say, mentally retarded people. Maybe that's an exaggeration to call them people who love watching. Like if you think of someone who absolutely loves watching Marvel movies, uh, maybe it's not right to call them retarded, but you get the point. Like they're not the most intelligent people, right? If they're watching Marvel movies, certainly that's a sign that they're not really very intelligent because they're enjoying a Marvel movie. But the thing is, like, as a filmmaker, even if you have a passion for Western film, even if you are an intelligent filmmaker, because from my own experience, I'm telling you this, like, if there's more money to be made, like, if I know that if I make a Marvel kind of movie, that more people will watch it and I will make more money, then isn't it lucrative to make a more Marvel kind of movie instead of trying to make a Christopher? Like, what I'm saying is for the young Christopher Nolans out there, where is the incentive to make a Christopher Nolan type movie? It is something to think about, at least. Same thing can be applied to anywhere in life, on YouTube videos, and even in entrepreneurship, right? Like this thing is happening in India in the entrepreneurship scenario. What is happening is, like in India, there's a startup culture. People come up with new companies every single day. But the companies, their products are so mundane and so dumb. I would say the products are so dumb that they're being sold like in the market. No, what I'm saying is, um, the products are made with the mindset that whether it will get like not views, but whether how much money it will make. Like that's why there's no technical innovation in India. You won't see a lot of innovation happening in India. There will be many companies. You will find many companies in India, but they're not doing anything innovative. They're just like copy paste. Oh, they did that in America. Let's do that here. Oh, they did that in America. Let's do that here. Innovation is happening in America because they have more money to experiment with, I guess. Like they have that ecosystem. The government has more money, so they have more. If they have more money, they have more money to waste because whenever you experiment, a lot of money will be wasted. That's why there is, I don't know if you know this, but in today's modern world, actually, a lot of science, like research on science, is actually based on creating products that can be sold in the market. You think like these innovative products like Chat GPT and AI, why are these innovations happening? These innovations are not really happening for the good of mankind, for the overall good of mankind. It's happening because these people, more money can be made from these products. It's capitalism that is the problem. In capitalism is great, but the only, excuse me, the only problem with capitalism is that the incentive to earn money. Now, so is communism better? Um, I mean, in communism, like, excuse me, communism didn't work out that well, right? People, communism or Marxist philosophy was this idea that let's not create a society based on capitalistic greed, like based on the greed of making money. Let's create a society which is socialistic, which is about the overall genuine development, the overall development of our species, if not the entire planet, which is inclusive of all species, not just humans. It's a great idea, and I think it should work. But the thing is, like, maybe most people are too corrupt. Like, people have this corruptive tendency. They just don't want to think of anyone other than themselves. Like, it's just this entire matrix how it is. Like, everybody is thinking of themselves. Like, if I'm making videos on YouTube, I want my channel to grow. Like, I don't care what happens to you if you're, even though a lot of people you will see on YouTube, they're always saying things like, I want to, and trying to give you value through this video, through this channel. This channel is based on providing value. But honestly, deep down, like, it's not really, any YouTube channel is not really based on providing value. It's all based on uh, with the mindset of like, if I'm making this video, it's all about making money. Like, I'm not saying for this video, but that's how it is. Um, and honestly, I can't even promise you that in the future, for example, let's say this video goes viral. After that, I don't honestly know. Like, my mindset will change. Like, when poor people become rich, it changes them. Money changes people. The amount of money people have, it definitely, most people change. Money changes people, which means that money has some corruptive aspect to it, right? Like, we might think of, especially in Western countries or in more developed countries, people think that money is fine. There's nothing wrong with money. Why should there be? If you make a good product, it gets sold. But the problem is that it necessarily doesn't mean that a good product gets sold. If I want to make money, for example, I will get a liquor license or a tobacco selling license, and I will, let's say, open small tobacco shops all over the country because I know it's a drug. Like, if you want to make a lot of money, just sell any drug that's legal. Sell caffeine, sell nicotine, sell alcohol. Because if you sell something that's addictive, then you will definitely make money. That's how even YouTube videos work. That's how video games work. That's how movies work. The movies that are being watched the most are the movies that are more addictive. That's why, pornographic films are on the rise. I don't know if you notice this, but these days pornography is accepted as kind of like a film in a way. Like, not film, but something that's very normalized. I'm not judging it, by the way, but all I'm trying to do is try to even understand from my own self. I'm trying to understand things, which is one of the reasons I'm making this video. I want to clear things that are going in my head. Like, I think, like, okay, so pornography is normalized. Like, I even thought of this, like, why not, like, if you upload a video on, like, Pornhub, you they actually pay more than YouTube. So why not just upload pornographic films on Pornhub? That'll make me more money. But that's the thing, right? Like, it's what happens to the soul, like, if a person does that. So the thing is, like, on a long-term basis, what will happen to society, and what is happening to society? Like, what is the system that we have created? Because we all are, in a way, victims. Maybe not victims. Maybe that's not a more wholesome word to use, but we all have to function based on the society that we have created, right? So if we live in a society where people are incentivized to make a product that will sell more, then actually the products that will be created based on this capitalistic mindset, and that is what is happening in the world, are the products that are not healthy for you. Like, not, I'm saying physically healthy, mentally, physically, everything, healthy in every sense. And that's why McDonald's, as an example, like, I feel like McDonald's is often thrown under the bus for when people talk about health. And there's reasons, like, Coca-Cola sells a lot, right? Coca-Cola is cheap. McDonald's is cheap. Your KFC, Burger King, they're cheap, right? Well, processed food is cheap, right? But they're not good. Then, like, there's no debate, right? When it comes to food, the most unhealthy food are the cheapest, and they're the most selling because they are created with the mindset of addiction. They're not making your instant noodles because instant noodles are healthy. Instant noodles are not healthy. Instant noodles are addictive. It's you like the taste of it, But you know what's healthy? Broccoli is healthy, spinach is healthy, and free raised chicken. I don't know what they call free raised chicken. Then your organic vegetables, organic meat. Those are healthy food, right? But they're expensive. They're expensive um, because it's more expensive to make. Um, but there is a deep, sad reality why it's more expensive to make. Because it's more expensive to make. Uh, because uh, because of capitalistic greed. Because people don't want to create, like, people who are in the top of the game in this capitalistic, uh, in this capitalism world that we live in. They don't want to create products that is like they're creating product, they're imagining products based on the goal is how much money this product will make. So if you want to make the most money, you have to make something that's really cheap and unhealthy and really dirty, but it will not appear like that. There will be taste attached to it. Those things will be more addictive. So people won't realize that they're unhealthy. It's like a slow poison, but like but it's not good for you. It's not processed food is not good for you. If you consume processed food on a regular basis, you'll get sick. If you eat McDonald's every day, you'll get sick. uh, so I wonder, how does it feel to be a major shareholder of McDonald's? Like, how does it feel to be like, yeah, probably if I imagine, like, if I was the majority shareholder of McDonald's, I will just not really care like how much damage it is doing to the society. The reason being because I have so much money, right? That's what I'm saying. The corruptive power of money. That's why why is there, like, common people, ordinary human beings like you and me, we wonder, right, why there's so corruption in the world. I hope at least you have wondered once in a while, at least, like, why there is, for example, in India, the ministers are so corrupt. The politicians, not just in India, everywhere in the world, honestly, politicians are for most countries, politicians are really corrupt. Majority of the countries in the world, politicians, kings, and leaders, they're all corrupt. Now, like, why are they corrupt? They're corrupt because they're rich. Like, when you become rich, I honestly don't even have a lot of confidence even in myself. Like, if I become really rich, like a millionaire, and I have the money to buy a helicopter, like a billionaire or something, I honestly don't know if I will care about rest of the society or humanity in a way. Like, I will completely lose my holistic mindset because I have so much money. Why would I care, right? If I can throw a party every night, I'll be having the hottest models in the world flocking at my doorstep for no reason. Like, all I'm saying is, like, I'm trying, like, please give me the credit for it. I hope you do that. I'm just trying to be bluntly honest, like brutally honest, if that's the word you prefer, because I'm just uh, tired to be deceptive. And I feel like if you're not honest, then you just slowly lose portions of your soul. Your soul dies, which is basically means that you die slowly if you stop being honest. Uh, but yeah, do honest people make money? I don't know. Can't guarantee you that. Honest people, what honest people makes money? You know what happened to that honest guy, Jesus Christ, right? Everybody killed him in a brutal way. Do you want to live a life like Jesus? Like getting nailed on a cross with hammer and stuff? uh Maybe, I don't know. Now, honestly, I'm not religious, so please don't take it in a wrong way. Like, I'm not trying to sell anything here. I'm not trying to sell Jesus. I'm not trying to sell Christianity or anything. Which is, I have to clarify, because that is the the corrupt world we live in. But really, is there any incentive for honesty. Maybe there is, I don't know. For example, um, think about this. Like there are some things, like some companies, like let's say uh, um, there are things like, how, like, I'm not getting the right example here. I'm just trying to explain. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, if a company is doing evil things, or like if some politician is doing evil things, right? If people don't approve, if the majority of humans, they come united and they don't approve of their politician, then their politician will instantly, like this, they will lose their power. But everyone will not come united, because most people just don't care, like, doesn't matter to them, I guess. Like, um unity or doing the right thing. I just wonder, like, where is the incentive to say the right things, do the right things? There's no incentive for conscience, right? Like, we live in a world which is, like, too materialistic, I would say. Like, it's all based on how much money. Like, nobody really cares how you make money. Honestly, like, be honest with yourself. Like, do you think, like, anybody cares if you, as long as you are rich? I frankly don't think that anybody cares how you make money. It's all about whether how much money and how much of it you have. That's all it matters. That's why, I mean, and in this day and age where this is the motive of life, to make money, then, and if there is, like, no incentive attached to how you make it, then that's how corruption works. That's how the world gets destroyed. That's how a species gets destroyed. Because, see, if you have a weapons company, and if your product is ammunition, weapons, bombs, guns, artillery, shells, if you own such a company, if you're a shareholder of that company, you would want a war, right? You want war to happen. And we know, right? That is why wars happen. Because weapon companies, they have to sell. It's business. War is business. So it's just dark how capitalism, it's a system that is self-depreciating in the long run. Like, not self-depreciating, like, it's destructive. It's a destructive system. It's not a system that is based on bringing out talent, search for talent hunt system. It's not. It's a system of who can make the most money, which is really a imaginary thing. Money, it's a perceived value, right? That what is $1 worth? $1 is worth $1, and that dollar, the value attached to it is a perception. If you understand economics, you will understand that the money, the perception of money, it's just it's imaginary. I'm not saying it's fake. Please, I want to clarify here. Um, don't think like I'm saying money. Oh, money, it's fake. It's not fake. It's real, but it's imagined. It's the perception attached to it. It's the trust of the people that, yes, this is a $1 note, or I don't know if they have $1 note, but $10 note bill. Let's say a $10 bill. That's a perception. Okay, this is worth $10, and uh, and even the perception of a product, like how much is this bottle of water? How much is this worth? Or how much is this? Yeah, the spectacles. I wear spectacles. I have a spectacle. How much is this spectacle worth? I mean, I, it's a brand. It's not a generic spectacle. I got it from, it's a brand. So they sell a lot of them, and they're kind of a big brand in India. So they actually charge maybe a premium. Like, if I go to a local shop that sells spectacles, you know, your glasses, I think I can get this kind of a glass with half the price. But this is more expensive because this has a brand value attached to it. Brand value meaning the perception that, okay, this brand is worth this much based on the share prices, I guess, based on how much people are really willing to pay for their brand. Like, or like, for example, I saw in KFC, there's a lineup of KFC that's called KFC Gold now, which have these images of burgers being shown with gold coating. Now, honestly, I find that really disgusting. It's like gold in food. Like, yeah, you are supposed to eat it. Yeah. You eat the food for taste. Yeah, maybe the gold version will be more tasty, but the marketing of it, like this is KFC gold. And yeah, they charge a lot for that, I guess. I haven't even seen the pricing. Like, I don't care. Like, I feel like that kind of marketing is so disgusting. Like KFC gold, like it shows like how shallow you have to be. I can't help but wonder, like, the marketing team of these companies that are coming up, like they have these meetings, right, where they come up with these kind of sick uh, things to sell. Like, oh, let's create a new lineup. We'll call it KFC Gold. And the gold, the people have a perception of gold. People attach gold with being more expensive. Something's more premium, so it will sell more. Like, we can charge more, basically. Maybe a burger with, I don't know, maybe the taste is different. I've never tried it, KFC Gold. I like to eat I like KFC. Once in a while I eat KFC. But when there's gold attached to that perception, like, I think like how they will sell it is, at least that's how they're planning to sell it, I guess, because it's like the gold light up, right? So it's premium, more premium value attached to it, I guess. So yeah, it's a way to make money, but it's a very shallow way to, a very soul killing way to make money. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, the richest people in the world, they, like, in a nutshell, I guess what I'm trying to say is, we live in a world where if you are nothing and if you want to become rich, you have to murder a lot of yourself. You have to kill your soul. Otherwise, uh, it's difficult because there's so much competition and so much shallowness in the world, that by doing something genuine, you can become rich. Uh, is there is questionable. Like, you may become rich, you might become rich if you do something truly genuine. Then you might become rich. Now, the question is, even if you do something genuine and if you become rich, I can't guarantee that you can, you'll be the same person, because money corrupts people. I don't know how this works. Maybe because people are corruptible anyways. Like, I feel like the human ego is very corruptible. There's a lot of corruptible aspect to the human ego. Um, so it doesn't matter whether you are doing something genuine or not. Anyways, you're gonna get corrupted, or you're gonna corrupt yourself. I guess. I don't know. Uh, yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, there's a lot happening in the world, and I just wanted to uh talk about it. But yeah, if no one watches it, um, then I will lose my motivation to make authentic videos like this. I can't lie. Like, I was going to say, like, I don't care if no one watches it. I'm still gonna make videos like this. That's not really true though. Like, if I say that, that'll be like, I am also a human, like a human ego. Like, I'm not. Yeah, I had enlightenment, um, consciousness expansion. Sure, I had all that, but I'm nowhere close to being God. So I'm still a human. Uh, and the I have experienced the corruptible aspects of being a human. Kind of get corrupted. Everybody can. Anyone, even enlightened people. I think I don't know. Like, are they the enlightened people not get corrupted? Like, I used to think, like, if someone is enlightened people can never get corrupted. But But then again, I don't know. I think like enlightenment is not a permanent state. Like I said in some previous video of mine, if you don't do consciousness work on a regular basis, you will lose your consciousness. You will lose everything. All your enlightenment will be gone, man. Enlightenment is so rubbish in a way. Like it's so like disgustingly cheap. In some way it's really cheap, I guess. Or maybe humans are cheap. I don't know which it is. Like which is it? Like I don't know. But the thing is, like, yeah, war might happen because the world is too corrupted. I was also going to talk about what I think about war happening. Like there's this um like you see on the news, right? War, and we all know this. Like we are kind of inching towards war. I guess world war. And yes, it can. Probably we are. I think we are genuinely inching towards war because there's too much corruption in the world, and because of capitalism, you know, the rich are getting too rich and powerful, and there's so much divide that it will ultimately lead to war. What else? I mean, there's a thing called breaking point, right? You know, like how you saw like that CEO of America's this healthcare, some insurance company, they murdered the CEO, right? Uh, so after that, there was this silent movement that undertook, right? There were these um, videos uploaded to social media, posts on social media that this is just the beginning. This is a, like Robin Hood. Robin Hood is not fiction. Like people murdering the rich and distributing to the poor. Those things actually happen. Those fictions, stories like Robin Hood, that's based off of reality. Those things happen in the past. Otherwise, what are those stories? They're not fiction. Those are not fairy tales. And even if they are fairy tales, it can manifest into reality. Because if you have at least some kind of a knowledge, if not experience of spirituality, you'll know that at the end of the day, like the imagined and the real, there's no difference really. Like that's what non-duality tells us, right? So, people, war, yeah, war will happen because war is uh, like the reset button when your phone stops working. Maybe you have a phone and maybe there's not a lot of RAM to it. Like maybe there's some malfunction. Your phone is malfunctioning. When something is not working, maybe your phone is constantly restarting, apps are crashing. What do? You do the factory reset, right? Now, war is really, in a way, it's a factory reset. Like it resets the established order, right? So when the established order gets corrupted, war happens, revolution happens. It's how life is. Honestly, for me, it's too much to handle. Like especially with I thought like when I came into I I didn't think like I was gravitated like there was a pull factor towards consciousness work. These things like these are like universal callings. Like when you get the call from the universe, you come to it. You gravitate in a way towards consciousness work. So yeah, like when I started consciousness, I thought it's all about peace and um freedom, which it probably is at the end of the work. Enlightenment is freedom, freedom from yourself. You're not at that point, you're not a human anymore. Like the ego dissipates, so it doesn't matter. At that point, it doesn't matter. At the point of enlightenment, the brink of enlightenment, nothing matters. Yeah. But as long as you're not enlightened, then you're stuck in Maya, the illusion. Then you're gonna have to face all the wrath of Maya. Like it's all wrath, man. It's there's a lot of wrath, the anger of Maya, whatever, I don't know, like suffering. A lot of suffering is there. Dukkha, like they say in Buddhism, right? But yeah, so as long as you're stuck in Maya, you're gonna be in that endless loop of stabilizing, then destabilizing, stabilizing, then destabilizing. The wheel keeps turning, right? Stability, peace, we have reached. No, there's World War II, and World War II ended after America dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I guess that's when World War ended. I don't know. Like it led to Cold War. But anyways, like it was leading towards diplomacy, peace, globalization, countries. We don't need to maintain country borders anymore. Globalization. Then comes, oh no, no, no. Everyone is just unsatisfied with peace. Like, because what happens is it is very difficult to satisfy everyone. The liberals don't like war. Liberals don't want war. Like they want peace. So to maintain peace, they're like, um, okay, no more hate speech. Let's not let's not practice hate speech. We have to abolish hate speech. Let's make hate speech illegal. Now, if you want to make hate speech illegal, what will happen is the freedom of speech is lost at that point. So a lot of people will be silenced, which is happening on social media, on YouTube and on everywhere, basically, even on Twitter to some extent, because they have to, because this is the narrative right now. Like we have to end hate speech. So to end hate speech, we have to kill freedom of speech. But what happens is, like, in this, there's so much. For example, if you take the example of America, there's so much of this suppressed hate that is there in America, that the right wingers, they don't have a voice to express themselves. If some right winger comes on YouTube and makes videos telling like, yeah, I don't support Palestine or something, I support Israel, and if they say like, yeah, there's something wrong with the Muslims, I have something to say about that, they're immediately silenced because right, that's hate speech, right? That's categorized as hate speech. Um, Hating anything that's for the agenda of liberal, but that's not really right to say. But yeah, I guess you get what I'm trying to say. It's like hate speech, this perception of hate speech, uh, then this perceived hate speech is killed because we want freedom of speech. Sorry, we want to end hate speech. So freedom of speech is murdered. You know, a lot of people get silenced because of that. Like, why do you think men's rights movements and these things like that, these ugly, toxic things, right? These come up because we're trying to suppress things like that. Like nobody, like these incel communities, people who identify as incels, they are they're facing some problems, right? And they're just trying to tell people, communicate that yes, we are suffering, we are, something is going on with us, but the world is, I guess the world is too unconscious to understand the problems of an incel or some right winger. Like the right wingers are labeled as hateful people. They're like, oh my God, these people, they're racist. We hate them, man. We hate those racist white people. They're so racist. But nobody tries to understand why they're racist. Like that is a problem with short set taking. That's a problem with a mindset where everything is quick. Nobody has time to think and understand. Nobody even cares to think like why someone is being hateful. Like if somebody is being hateful because they're trying to say something, they have something to say, but they're not getting, nobody's listening to them. So when somebody has something to say but nobody listens, they become hateful people. They become right wingers, and they become conservatives, and they become MAGA supporters. They become Make America Great Again. Those kind of things. If you try to suppress something, like there's an large elephant in the room, but liberals are very naive. Actually, liberals think that by ignoring something, like ignoring their what is the current approach of the solution of the world problems by the modern liberals. The solution is that if we ignore the problem will slowly go away, which is so foolish. If you ignore the problem will get bigger. You have to address the problem. Now, how do you address a problem? When you want to address something that's, let's say, something that's difficult to talk about, like things like this, like if somebody wants to say yeah, what is happening in Gaza, that's so bad, right? But hey, like, let's also talk about, like, why are the Israelis suddenly so violent? Immediately that conversation is, nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about why Israelis are violent, why Benjamin Netanyahu is doing what he's doing. Nobody wants to talk about that, because if you try to talk about that, we're living in a labeling culture, right? Oh, this guy's a fascist. Oh my God, what is he talking about? He's talking about he's justifying the actions of Benjamin Netanyahu. Oh my God. Like, there's no freedom of thinking. Oh, the freedom to think is still there. Honestly, maybe with technology, it's possible to control thoughts. Now, there's again that quick cut where if somebody says something like that, like, oh, this guy just said that there's technology to control thoughts. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's your Alex, what is it called? Alex Jones or something? He's a conspiracy theorist. We live in this very shallow culture where everybody is labeled. This guy is conspiracy theorist, right winger, conspiracy theorist, hate labeling. Like, just label them and they will shut up. Like, they won't talk about it. And they will, like, magically, like, they will, like how kids, if they're asking, kids ask, because kids are innocent, right? They ask some questions which are sometimes perceived to be inappropriate by adults. And what adults do, because they are too immature in a way, they just tell the kid to shut up. Like, hey, I'm telling you, shut up. Don't talk about that, right? It just shows that how immature adults are, because adults can't even handle that a child is asking a question that is inappropriate, because it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate to you because you're not open-minded enough to understand that's a child that's just saying random things. Why even get offended, right? So what happens is that if you tell a child to shut up continuously, they will grow up and become a monster. They will become someone like Adolf Hitler. Like, everybody knows, or we have accepted that Adolf Hitler was a monster, an evil person. But why did he become that? Like, why did Adolf Hitler become a monster? He wasn't born like, why did he become so hateful? Why is Donald Trump so hateful? I listen to a lot of these, like, the entire world hates Donald Trump. I get it. But have you ever wondered, genuinely have you wondered why even Donald Trump is hateful? And why there are people who follow Trump? If Donald Trump is really this evil person, why do people follow him? He has a MAGA base, right? He has a follower fan base who loves Donald Trump, right? Who likes what he says. And we will say that, yeah, they follow him because they're stupid, retarded people, right? And they don't know any better. I think there's some truth to that, but I also think that there is a underlying under the carpet, dust swept under the carpet problem here. I feel like there are problems in society where we're living in a culture where it's all about just sweep it under the rug, man. Who cares? It will go away, right? Because that's how you clean the house, right? When you're cleaning your house, do you sweep the dirt and the dust under the carpet, or do you actually take a pan and whatever you vacuum? You have to if you vacuum. Let's say you're living in a first world country and you don't have broom and pan, you're using a vacuum cleaner. You vacuum, right? And the dust is collected. You have to clean that storage, right? Which collects all the dust. You have to clean it. Otherwise, the vacuum cleaner is not some magic, right? It's not gonna. It's not unlimited, right? You gotta keep vacuuming. The dust will get collected. At some point, you have to dispose. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to clean your house, you have to ultimately um, get the dust in the dustbin, and the dustbin is going to go to the sanitation unit, and they have to process the unit. If you're living in a country like India, they will just dump the dust in some dumping site where it will form a heap of garbage, and it will become Ghaziabad or something, where it's like a landfill of garbage collected over hundreds of years. I guess I don't know. Uh, but in a holistic, more conscious country, what they will do is they will not just dump the waste, they will treat it. They will separate, segregate the waste, and then they will treat the waste, right? So is the thing with even people and politics. It can't just silence people. I mean, that's just cancer waiting to happen. And that cancer is the world war. I mean, that's why wars happen, because people get too comfortable in the short term, and they keep bubbling, like they keep suppressing, trying to suppress, and at one point, it just blows. The explosion happens. That's how school shooters do school shooting. That's why there's such a thing as school shooters, because nobody cared about that silent kid who was in the school, and they were like, yeah, just let's bully the kid. He's silent. He's so weird and all. And suddenly one day, because they're living in America, they go to a gun shop, whatever. They somehow get access to a gun, and they shoot up the entire school. That's their outburst. At that point, they don't care because nobody cared about them. So, and nobody tried to love them. So yeah, it's hate. I mean, liberals are very uh, hypocritical in a way that they preach about these hippie liberals. They preach about love, but they say they give a big middle finger to someone like Donald Trump or Adolf Hitler. If you are a true liberal, what is a liberal? Liberal means that you are a free thinker. If you are a liberated person, you would realize that you have to love everyone. And loving doesn't mean accepting someone's wrongdoing. It means to listen to someone. Like if Adolf Hitler or if Benjamin Netanyahu, I have never, like, I listen to a lot of BBC News. Like I am a liberal, I guess. I don't know really. Maybe I'm a centrist. I like to think of myself more of a centrist. But I listen to BBC News because hey, it's better than Fox News, I guess. Yeah. So but there's so much of this liberalness, I guess, to BBC News. Even though I like, because because liberals are overall, they're, I guess, more conscious than compared to right wingers speaking in a general sense. But at the same point, I understand that is very wrong to hate a right winger because they're right winger. You have to understand where a person is coming from. I have talked to real ultra conservative right wingers in my life. I've had conversations with them. I grew up in a Muslim family. I carry a Muslim name. So and I live in India. So in India, being a right winger means you're anti-Muslim. I've talked to these kind of right wingers in India, where they actually never hated me. Like they like talking to me, because because I realize that I just have a Muslim name, but I'm not really biased towards right wingers. I'm because I guess I showed some empathy to right wingers, and I show empathy to anyone who's trying to communicate to me. They're trying to express their point of view, I guess. Uh, so I don't know. Like, I just don't think that hating someone is gonna solve the problem. Like, it's not gonna. If we all want world peace, let's say we want world peace. To achieve world peace, we have to be more. We have to. I'm not saying that's also wrong. Like, that gives the wrong message to society. When a lot of times spiritual people, they say like love is the answer. That gets a very wrong message, I guess, to society, because people think love is about accepting their wrongdoings. Let's say someone, a terrorist, like loving a terrorist, that is the liberal idea of loving. It's like, yeah, if you love the terrorist, you're gonna accept. No, don't throw them in jail. Let them wander on the street. Let the rapists and the sex offenders, let them just walk on the street. Like, don't worry about them. They're not going to do it. I think that's completely wrong. All I'm saying is you have to listen to people. Like, you know how these they used to interview serial killers. Like, they have these serial killer documentaries where serial killers are being interviewed, and they are asked by journalists, like, why did you commit this heinous crime? I guess that's important. Like, you have to interview a serial killer. Otherwise, how will you know why a serial killer did something they did? And you'll be surprised. There are these videos on YouTube where I've seen, like, I was just shocked. Like, it was so intriguing to me. Like, a serial killer is telling to the person, and they're very, and it seemed like genuinely interested in telling people why they did what they did. Even like there are interviews of rapists who will commit serial rapists. Uh, they get interviewed. They're asked like, why did you do this? Like, why did you commit these crimes? What was the motivation behind it? So these people, they then when they're asked, they actually tell you like why they did that. Like, what was the like, now they're too mentally disturbed to, or they're not mentally disturbed. They're actually too unconscious to understand why they did. Like, they don't see it as a wrongdoing because they're very disconnected from pain and suffering, from human emotions. They're sociopaths, right? They're disconnected from people suffering, emotions, feelings, hurt, pain. Um, so they just say like, yeah, I felt like doing it. But what I'm saying is, as a conscious society will always ask the criminals like why they did things like that, and like the objective should be to either clean the mindset, to help the criminal because they need help, like, but psychological help to clean their mindset, or to, I don't know, like, how to say this, like, to make them uh like, in terms of Christianity, I guess, make them walk the path of Jesus. Or again, I don't want to sound Christian, but the point is, like, you have to rehabilitate, right? Rehabilitation is important. So you have to make people who are unconscious, make them see the light, uh, make them, not make them, I guess, help them see uh, the light of the world. Or not? Help them see the light, I guess. Um, but that will happen if people, um, people are conscious. I don't know, if people have the patience, that requires patience, a lot of patience, to understand why, to understand something, anything, to go deep into something. It requires a lot of patience. But the current capitalistic world is all about get rich quick. You have to uh, become rich before you're like whatever, like in 5 years. In 5 years, you're supposed to become uh, very rich, or not 5 years. You're going to become rich in 1 year. People generally, I think, people want to become rich in 1 year. If you want to become rich in 1 year, you have to be a drug dealer, I guess. You have to sell drugs. And how can you possibly become rich in 1 year uh, with the mindset, like with that mindset? How can you do something conscious if you've given yourself a time limit? I'm gonna become rich in 1 year, or like, or even the thought of becoming rich is all about money at the end of the day. So we'll be like, yeah, who cares about the product? Who cares what kind of videos you make on YouTube? At the end of the day, you're trying to make a lot of money. If you're trying to make a lot of money, then I guess you're just as dumb as me, I guess. I don't know. Make a gaming video, play video games, and in video games also. Play Fortnite, dude. You're gonna get so many views, right? But it's sad a world you want to live in where everyone's playing Fortnite and making videos about it. Hey, look, I made another milestone, achieved another milestone in Roblox these days. I guess Roblox is even more popular. I don't know. They had this game. It's called Brain Rot. I was checking like which are the most well performing videos on YouTube there. These gaming videos are generally very high performing videos. So there's no satisfaction, a lot of satisfaction, I guess. Maybe there is. It's all about the person, I guess. But anyways, in Roblox, there's this game called Brain Rot. I don't know, like, and I wonder, like, even to play a game that's called Brain Rot, how is that like a conscious society, dude? That's like, is that a good thing? Is that a good society? I don't know. There is this comedian, Jimmy Carr. I was watching one of his podcasts some time ago. He said like something like which is also interesting. He said like people talk a lot about the negatives of the world, right? But the negatives are uh, people rarely talk about how much we have accomplished. Like we are living in a world where a lot of the diseases are eradicated. A lot of people used to die of fever, malaria, measles, chickenpox, or whatever. I don't know the exact, but people used to die of malaria. Malaria was a disease where if you had it, you would die in the past. Like, I think even 100 years ago, right? And people used to die from malaria, at least in countries like India. But thankfully, I don't think anyone has to die from malaria or from chicken pox, or I don't know, from pneumonia. You don't have to die anymore if you have pneumonia. So that's, I think, progress, right? Which is interesting. I felt that was such a good thing he said. Uh, but yes, there are some, from the point of view of consciousness, I guess, it's kind of on the decline, I would say. Like overall consciousness is, people are becoming more stupid, I guess. It's a control thing, I guess, the rich people are doing. It's so powerful, they can do anything. Think of YouTube, like, uh, on YouTube, if you say a lot of negative things about YouTube, you'll be censored, man, like shadow banned. No one will watch your videos. Uh, But yeah, I don't know. We live in a world where, think of YouTube. YouTube is a private company, Google, right? It's a private company. They really control like the kind of videos they want to promote. It's up to them. They're running the whole show. You think like you're gonna come on YouTube and talk, preach a bunch of stuff. Yeah, and people are gonna watch. Like, yeah, people are gonna watch, but a lot of people are not gonna watch. But then again, I don't know. Maybe YouTube is transparent. I would like to believe, hopefully, like YouTube. I generally think like YouTube is a company where it's all about, hey, if people are want to watch, we'll spread the video. That's fine. But there are some, because I don't know, maybe these are policies, government, I don't know, liberalization, left wing politics, I don't know. Because if you want to say something about, but what about that the Israelis? Shut up, shadow ban, no promotion of the Israelis. If you want to talk about the Israelis, you have to say negative. You have to oppose them. You cannot be pro-Israeli and expect like we will promote your video. There are political issues, like people cannot really speak freely on YouTube. If you try to speak freely, you will be censored. I don't know. I seems like a lot like that. Because in YouTube, I just see like everybody's like, hey guys, look at me, I'm playing Minecraft. Look at me, I'm playing Roblox. We're having so much fun, guys. Let's play Roblox. It's so much fun. But it's people who want to talk about controversial topics, they'll be censored, I guess, in some ways. The comment section on YouTube, comment section is completely censored. Like the comments on YouTube, it's you write one, you try it. You try writing something in the comments that is not approved of the mainstream culture, or if you want to try, there's no freedom of, there used to be freedom of speech in the YouTube comment section. I don't know. It's pointless to go on the comment section and to read the comments on YouTube. It's pointless, man. Like it's all fake, like the fakest of. And what happens is the problem, which I can't believe I just watched and not spoke about it earlier, but whatever. It trains people. When young people now, they will come on YouTube, they will just write positive stuff, that forced positivity, which PewDiePie talked about a long time ago, but he was like shadow banned as well. But he somehow survived because at that time YouTube was not so censored. Imagine like at the time when PewDiePie was doing all that crazy stuff, right, on YouTube. When YouTube was arguably very entertaining because so many creators was doing so many crazy things. But then they decided to make YouTube a very politically correct place, which made YouTube very boring. YouTube is boring. And it's not just YouTube is boring, because YouTube is like a television at this point. It controls culture. That's how the world got so stupid and so boring, because the censor, like if you try to do something remotely that is not mainstream approved, you'll be bad. The comment section is completely censored. No one can talk anything on the comment section. You go to the comment section, you write anything negative about the creator that is making the video. Go to any I dare you, go to any popular YouTuber. Let's say you don't agree with what the person is saying. You say something that is against the motion. In comment section, what they do is there's a motion. There's the AI, the YouTube has AI, right? They read the comments and they understand like, okay, this is the general common narrative. And they push all those comments at the top. That is following a peaceful common narrative. If you have anything to say that is not approved of the general, your common dumb comments, then you'll be shadow banned. Your comment won't even appear, first of all. If you say something that's too controversial, your comment won't even appear. Why do you think things like, people like Elon Musk, they will come up. People like these will emerge. If not Elon Musk, let's say we kill Elon Musk, okay? As an example, like I'm trying to make a point here. I don't want to kill Elon Musk, but I think every stupid, cheap, liberal person, it's a dream, right? To kill someone like Elon Musk. Say, yeah, man, let's kill Elon Musk. He's a fascist. Let's kill all the fascists. If you kill all the fascists and now the problem is not disappear, you just kill the people. Just kill them. Let's say we kill all the fascists, okay? But fascism won't go away. Some other person will come up to take their place. The reason being that you haven't solved the problem. You haven't solved what fascists are there because they're trying to defend an identity. You have not given a solution to the fascists. So even if you kill 100 fascists, another 100 will come and take their place. Because fascists are not born, whether you like to think of it or not. Fascists are not born. They're created. The world creates fascists. If you're consuming unhealthy food, you will become sick. Fascists, white supremacists, these are people who are a symptom to a problem. It means that there's an underlying problem to a society that has not been solved. That is why white supremacy exists. That is why fascism exists. That is why conservatism exists. But hey, I mean, the liberals are all like, yeah, death to the fascists. Doesn't work. Hate doesn't work. The liberals should understand the people who are who are hypocritic enough to promote the idea that we have to stop promoting hate. They are the ones that the most hateful towards fascists and neo-Nazis. The neoliberals are more what is it called? Hateful towards the neo-Nazis. I mean, it's crazy. The point was to stop hate, but people should understand, like, we have to we can wait and watch the world get destroyed, or we can do something about it. I guess the natural course of things will do whatever needs to be done. Maybe. I don't know. My point here was to talk about things. I'll probably label this video as a podcast, right? And the things I talked about. I don't know, I guess. But then the word podcast has to be there, because when somebody opens a YouTube app, if the title is misleading, then no one will people feel, I myself do. People feel fooled, right? Feel fooled. You were fooled. That the title didn't live up to the expectation, or not live up. Like, they said to do something, but I didn't. I don't know. I have to work a lot on my public speaking skills, I guess. I haven't made any raw, uncut talk that's so long. But I have to title the video properly, I guess. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. Please support my channel so that I get the motivation. At least I need to know that if there's any point to making this this kind of video, right? Like, I have so much to say, but people still listen, right? You listen to Joe Rogan. I feel like if you listen to Joe Rogan, you would also like listening to me, I guess. I don't know. Let's see, man. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see, guys. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. All right. Bye. Take care. Bye.